Hey!
Hey, Scott.
Have you heard of Zed creators Justin Copeland of Stay Fresh Productions by Zaharoff?
As a matter of fact, I have. In fact, as luck would have it, I'm going to be reviewing Elixir today.
Well, he has 3 bangers.
3 bangers, you say? Well, that's just a matter of opinion, isn't it, Scott?
But only one can be king.
Well, that's exactly why I'm here today. I'm here to see just how good this Elixir is. Now, before I get started, I have a bit of a problem. Every time I smell a George and Justin collaboration, I just can't get out of my head these sycophants, these fanboys that just praise all his fragrances, all their fragrances, I should say. And so I'm going to do my best to be as objective as possible and to give an honest review. Now, another thing is, anybody who's been paying attention knows that over the past week and a half, I've had some issues with George, but I'm not going to let that interfere with an objective review. Okay, so let's get started. Spray some on. Okay. All right, so now this is the infamous Elixir. This is a Justin Copeland and George Zaharoff collaboration, and I'm going to try to smell this and be as objective as possible. Let's see.
Woo! This is Justin?
Woo! Yes.
Woo! Woo! What? This is Justin?
I did it again. Every time I smell a Zaharoff fragrance, I keep thinking about the influencer fanboys and how, they goo goo gaga over these fragrances. Okay. But I want to form my own opinion as well. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to now spray this on skin. So I'll spray this on my arm here. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit on my skin, and then that way I can imagine, okay, what's this going to be like when I wear it out and about? What feelings does it evoke? What emotions does it stir up in me? And I'm going to try not to focus on the fanboys. So I think on skin is going to be a bit better here. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. This is not merely a fragrance, but a true elixir for the soul. Once experienced, one can never approach the world of perfumery the same way again.
Zaharoff, Zaharoff, Zaharoff!
Woo! That was Justin?
Yes, yes.
I love AM.
What's going on, guys? Zaharoff, Zaharoff, Zaharoff. All right, let me see how something. Yeah, I was having issues. Like this light's like right on my face. I was trying to use something called OBS, but it wasn't working out for me. So let me say hi to some people. Yoshi, what's going on, Yoshi? First of all, sorry, Boz, then Yoshi. Hey, Boz, and then Yoshi. Duchamp, Edgar Romeo. I see you, Edgar Romeo. 5 Banaka sprays. All right, let's see here. Captain and Coke, what's going on? Columbo hint. We gotta get ready for the Columbo film, man. Oh, thank you, Captain and Coke. I didn't do anything. I just copied the woo. That inspired me. It says, Dushan, you gotta take it back what you said about Ramsey being better looking than AM. Yeah, Dushan, take it back. No, I'm not competing with Ramsey. Ramsey is a younger man. For those that want a screenshot of my comments, congratulations, George, on your new fragrance. I hope they won't screenshot that, John. That's not going to be screenshotted. But you don't have to worry. I'm sure George is watching anyway. So let's see. Happy to see you keep his boxes. Yes, I do keep my boxes. Well, I used to store them in my boxes, but it just started taking up too much room. So I have a little nice shelf in my closet. I keep all my fragrances in my closet because it's by my bedroom and it's dark and cool. And then I needed some decoration. I'm upstairs. I didn't want to bring my fragrances upstairs. So I said, let me show off my boxes. Let's see here. Neil's trolling. Okay. I'm very happy for him. He's a good dude. Well, we'll be the judge of that. All right. So, man, I hate to sound. I think Eugene was doing this the other day, but I got some Italian style pizza here. Look at that. Look at that pizza, man. And I haven't eaten anything all day. And I have a beer. So pizza and beer go together, man. If you guys haven't tried this beer, I don't know. I don't know if they make it outside of my state, but the purpose of the beer was to make a really nice, cool, refreshing beer. Something that you can have at a ball game or a football game. It's hot outside, you're working, you want something cool, but it doesn't taste like shit, right? So it says clean, crisp, easy to drink. And that's what this is. There's nothing special. It's not going to win any awards in terms of complexity or anything like that. But if you want a cheap beer, well, it's not that cheap, but relatively cheap beer that tastes good, this is a good beer. I don't know if they sell it in other parts of the country, but I think it was developed by some guys near the University of Georgia that they were sick and tired of having Pabst Blue Ribbon or Budweiser. They wanted something cool and refreshing that tasted, rather good. No pineapples on the pizza. This place that we get it from, they have an Italian, and they imported a oven from Italy. I don't know. I like the margarita pizza. That's my favorite. One slice, everybody knows. One bite, everybody knows the rules. Look at this. It drips a little bit, but sorry, let me do it. Pick one bite, then I'll review the fragrance. Don't think I've ever eaten on stream before. This is the first for me. Yeah, man, margarita, you gotta keep it. Now, they gave buy one, get two. So they were trying to make us. Oh, this is spicy pizza. Oh, look at there's a hot pepper on that pizza. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway. Or hot red pepper. I guess that spicy pizza is not selling too well. This if you buy a spicy pizza, you get a free margarita. No brainer. Oh, speaking of pizza, look who's here. A resident Italian. Are you from southern Italy or northern Italy? The people who make this pizza got their oven from a place called Campagna in Italy. What's going on, Kay? Kay, I hear, Kay, it's this rumor that, how you and me and Mike were the rat. I heard there's another rat in the group. So we have a rat pack, allegedly. Okay. Who's this? Here goes this. I don't know what to say, man. If you guys want to donate, I'll do a GoFundMe. I'm sure he can afford clippers. Maybe a sloth. laziness. All right. So we're here to talk about the actual fragrance. We're here to talk about Soul Elixir. Now, I got this fragrance yesterday, so just a warning, this is not an official review. There are plenty of fragrances that I've bought over the years that I liked when they came out. And as time went on, I just didn't wear it. And there are fragrances that I thought were like, so. And then the more I wore it, the more I liked it. And I rushed out to get a bottle if I had a sample or for example. So I got this yesterday, wore it in the morning, wore it again when I got home, still had some, wore it to bed, had some left over sent from the night before, wore it again this morning, and that was it. I mean, I didn't apply it too much. I needed a break from it, to be honest with you. So I'm going to try to give you the best review I can, the best opinion I can give you based on the limited amount of times I've worn it. So just keep that in mind. And anybody, I know a lot of people reviewed it yesterday. I saw like people on live streams. I didn't watch any of those live streams, so I don't know how this fragrance is being received in the community. The only thing I saw was for Grantica. I went to look at some of the notes, and I saw it had like a 4 point. Let me see. I pulled it up here. 4.53. So that's pretty high for Grantica. And they have this classified as a Chypre fragrance for both men and women. And the perfumer is Vincent Kuzinski. I think he's an American perfumer. And of course, this is through the house of Zaharoff. And as far as I know, under the creative supervision of Justin Copeland from Stay Fresh Production. Now, I don't know Justin. I was not I bought this fragrance, with my own money. I for people who've been paying attention, I've not been too happy with George over the past couple of weeks, for other reasons. So I'm going to try to make this review as objective as possible. I'm not going to be wooing. Woo! I'll just do it now, right? So just to let you know. All right, so let's first off with the bottle. I said, all of the Zaharoff fragrance come with this like plastic thing. It's kind of like ASMR here. Yes. And it looks, I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's like a black, has texture. I don't know if like grainy leather or that's supposed to represent smoke from a jazz bar. I'm not sure. So, Mr. Dennis. Oh, Boz hasn't been too happy with you. Behave. All right, let's see here. Did I miss anybody came in? All right. All right, so okay, so this is a fragrance. So what do I think about the fragrance? Well, first let me look up the notes here. Start off, you can look this up, and for Grantica, actually George, when he sends these fragrances, he has a little brochure, kind of tells you the notes here. I think the Fragrantica notes are pretty accurate. If they're not, let me know. So when you first start, the top notes are going to be gin, juniper berry, which I thought gin and juniper berry are pretty similar. I don't know what the difference between them are, but mandarin orange, bergamot, cardamom, and rum. All right, so I'm going to spray this again. Money Burner, Aram, you guys were in the intro video. Go back and watch it after this is over, right? Okay, so the first thing I get when I spray this, I get rum and lots of it. Now, I'm normally not a boozy type of guy. I can count with probably my hand how many boozy fragrances I have in my collection. But this starts off with rum more than anything else, like a rum vanilla. So you get like kind of like a rum and Coke. Shout out to Captain. You get like a rum and Coke vibe. Coca-Cola has coriander, has nutmeg, has vanilla. That's has actual real ingredients in it. Allegedly, I don't know if they're probably mostly artificial now, but so you get kind of this Coke vibe when you first spray it on. Yeah. I don't get much of the citruses. I don't get much cardamom either. It's not like, you guys know cardamom fragrances. I don't pick it off. Again, this is really, I've worn it. This is my fourth time wearing it. So sometimes when I own a fragrance, I don't really smell the notes. And the more I wear it, then I start picking up, there goes the cardamom. Yeah, I didn't really pick it up, But it's blended very smoothly up front. And when I mean by smoothly, I mean that nothing really pops out other than the rum. All right. And again, a little bit of the vanilla, but that's in the base. It's like saying yellow and blue. When you mix them, they make green. You don't look at green and say, I see the blue, I see the yellow, right? It's a brand new color. And so the combination of notes make a brand new scent profile. So that I don't recognize those individual components. I don't know. My nose is not built that way. But, that's how it starts off with. Now, let me get it here. I mean, we're going to have to wait a little bit if you want the mid and the base, but I'm not. The stream's not going to be that long. I've worn it a few times. I can tell you about it. All right. Let me get a little refill on this beer. And I believe if someone's watching, Zaharoff's watching, confirm it or not, or Justin is watching, I think it's sold out. So this review is more just kind of a grading the fragrance, and not a review if you want to buy it. Although I think these reviews are more important than regular reviews, because if this is a limited edition, what happens is a lot of people buy these fragrances, right? They decide they don't like it, or they decide they want to flip it for a profit because it's limited, right? So I got that pizza. Love that pizza. Okay, sorry. Don't mean to be rude. First time eating, probably last time eating, but I was hungry. So they'll buy these fragrances, right? And then they'll flip it, right? Because they know it's limited production. They know there's a lot of Zaharoff fanboys, a lot of Zaharoff simps, people that go buy it and pay a little bit extra. So, and because it's a limited edition, there's probably not going to be a lot of samples. So you're kind of forced to blind buy it, right? And I blind bought it, right? It was a total blind buy. Okay. Let's see. I would never even smell a Zaharoff fragrance based on the scumbags he's collaborated with. I don't care if they're the best fragrances in the world. Yeah, I mean, you're not the first one to say that. A lot of people have questioned. I think whole videos have been made by Chad Stinkwell about George's who he affiliates with. I don't care. If a fragrance smells good, it smells good. If it smells bad, it smells bad. I've never heard anything bad about George personally on a personal level. So there's that. And I think Anna sent him a nice painting. So okay. So let me just go. Let me see if I can share the screen to show you what all right, guys. So here's the screen. All right, so top notes, I get more rum and that vanilla kind of peeking through, right? Now, as a rum, as the boozy notes die down, and typically I find that with my fragrances that are quote unquote boozy, the boozy notes kind of are top notes normally when they fade away. As it starts to fade away, can I say I smell bergamot and mandarin? I know what those smell like. I mean, if I close my eyes and I pretend, I can smell some citrus in there, but it's not hitting me over the head. And then the juniper berry. I mean, it's probably in there because I don't smell pure rum, so it might be mixed in there, but I don't distinctively pick it out. But what I do start picking out is some jasmine and lily of the valley. Now, jasmine is one of those ingredients, one of those florals that can be feminine, but when done right, I love it in men's fragrance. I mean, I have a whole bunch of fragrances that have jasmine in it, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. But as it starts to dry down, you start to get the lily. You get like the white florals, right? Again, not super florally. Like, it's you have to smell it and actually look for it, right? It like when I first wore this fragrance, or when I first wore any fragrance, I don't try to pick out the notes. I don't try to pick out anything. I just smell it and do I like it? Because that takes the fun out of it. Like at the end of the day, I'm not like I'm not like a fragrance critic or I'm not like a perfumer, right? I wear the fragrance because I enjoy wearing it. I want to smell good, right? And so that's the first thing I pick out. I mean, it could be it can have the finest ouds, it can have the finest, real castor. I don't care. It has to smell good to me. Then I'll look for the notes, right? So that's what I do. Do I like this fragrance? Do I vibe with this fragrance? That's the first thing. Okay. Then on the other wearings, then I start to pick it. I start to nitpick at the notes and so forth. And then after that's done, I go back to just enjoying the fragrance, right? So I'm not one of these guys that every time I wear a fragrance, I'm trying to pick out certain notes or not. If it hits me as I'm wearing it, if I get wafts of it throughout the day, then I get it. If I don't, I don't. All right. So then the vanilla is up front. It's in the mid, right? And as it starts to dry down, you start to pick up a little bit more woods. Now here it says it's cedar. I don't get like the cedar's not like a strong cedar like you would get in Royal Oud from Creed or like smelling a cigar box. It's just more like a generic woody type of wood, right? It's not like your typical cedar wood. Like if I didn't read that there was cedar in there, I wouldn't know. It could have been oak. Who knows, right? I don't know what Bushman candle smells like, so it has Bushman candle. In the dry down, I do start to smell some oak moss. I get a little bit of myrrh, labdanum. I get in suede. I do get a bit of a leathery thing going on. Vetiver might be there, might be mixed in with the woods. I don't really pick it out. But in the far dry down, I do pick up some patchouli, like kind of like I was smelling it last night in bed. I was falling asleep. I smelled like a kind of like a chocolatey patchouli in there, and that's kind of how the fragrance progresses, right? And then at the far dry down, right after everything's gone, you still left with the I would say almost like a rum vanilla. Like I don't know if that makes sense. I've never seen rum. And maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe it's, but to me, I smell like 8 hours, 12 hours in, I smell my skin, and I'm getting like a rum vanilla. So, all right, so that's kind of. Oh my God, I didn't have the actual thing posted. All right, so let's see here. All right, this is what I was talking about. I had no idea I didn't have it posted. Let me go back here. Good one, Yoshi. Let's see. My most boozy fragrance is Baranada Nasimado. I've never tried a Nasimado fragrance ever. I'm not avoiding it. I never tried it. That's the thing, guys. There's thousands. Like I think last year, what was it, like 3 or I don't know. It was like 6,000 fragrances that came out just in 1 year alone. It's impossible. It's impossible. I follow people on Fragrantica that have an extensive fragrance collection that have never tried fragrances that I own, which is not that extensive compared to some of those other people. And I've not tried fragrances from other people who have a small collection. I mean, like there's so many. It's impossible to smell everything. Okay. All right. Let's see. There's some good ones. Okay. I just remember the one with the penis head, and I was like, oh, okay. Not too sure about that. All right. They're all beast extract. Like from animals, bees you talking about? Or you talking about like beast mode fragrances? You talking about deer musk and castoreum? Who timed me out? Now, boss, I did give the go-ahead to time you out if you start calling people names. And you called somebody an Indian leprechaun. That's unacceptable. Or if you talk about you-know-who, right? So, but other than that, don't try not to time Boz out. He's a valued member of the community. All right, so now you probably are wondering, what do I think? What's my... Oh, I like this one for some reason. I don't know why. Full Metal Boz. That's not me, Aom. What's not you? This is not you right now? I don't know. I'll let the other people figure it out. Orlando, you're on fire. All right. So, okay. All right. So now I've described the fragrance as best I can in the limited amount of time. I've shown you this bottle design. Looks like it's black and red. A little demonic. I'm not gonna lie to you. A little demonic. All right. Not the color palette I would have chosen, but it looks nice. It looks nice. The font's nice. The Zaharoff bottle is very distinctive. I mean, you can see this bottle from a mile away and know it's a Zaharoff bottle. All right. So what do I think about the fragrance? What's my final verdict on the fragrance? Is it worth a woo, or is it straight dookie, or what's going on here? Okay. So first, let me tell you what my biases are. I have some biases, all right? I think it's important to tell you that before I rate a fragrance, especially with the Zaharoff line, because George is pretty active in the community. And it's also a Justin Copeland collaboration, and some people are going to like just absolutely love an influencer fragrance because they love the influencer. Some people are going to hate on the influencer fragrance because they think, this is, this is a cash grab, right? Is this a cash grab? Can I officially say it's not? No, I cannot officially say it's not. Okay. But I'll talk about it a little bit. Now, my biases are that if you saw the intro video, there's a lot of Zaharoff simps. A lot of people go crazy for his fragrances when at best they're just okay. The woo came from, let me see, this fragrance right here. Seamless Soul. Let's see it back there. That was a nice, decent fragrance. Didn't really it was nice. It was nice. I can't say it wasn't a bad fragrance, but nothing, to woo about, right? So I my instinct is to say, okay, everybody's loving George fragrances. Let me be a little bit more critical of it. Okay. Again, my other bias is we asked George to invest $50,000 and I don't think he was too interested. So of course, I'm going to be a little upset with that. Okay. Let's see what my other bias is. My other bias is I'm not the biggest fan of Zaharoff fragrances. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're awful, but I don't think, again, they're woo worthy, right? So that's my bias. Okay. My bias for George is that he knows a lot of people in the community. So I like that. I like that he interacts with the community. He's not like an elitist guy like other perfumers. And I think to his credit, I think from what I can tell, he literally enjoys being in the community. And that serves two purposes. He has a good time, and it also, puts his face out there, and it's a good marketing strategy, advertising strategy. The other thing, everybody I've talked to has only talked positive about George. I have not heard one person other than Boz say anything bad about George. Okay, what's going on? Let me see here. I can't say I like them all. I never blind buy, and I'm never blind buying a Zaharoff fragrance again after serving Musk. You shouldn't blind buy any fragrance, to be honest. All right. Boz has the life trail. Okay. So my bias is for, and again, my bias is for, also, the Zaharoff is an American company. American companies aren't like overrepresented in the world for fragrances. So I kind of root for that. He lived in Chicago. I lived in Chicago. I'm kind of, going for that. So those are kind of my biases, right? But now, what do I think about this fragrance? I think that, and then my other bias is I don't like sweet fragrances. I don't like boozy fragrances. And this one is sweet and boozy, right? So whenever whatever you hear me say, take it with a grain of salt, right? Okay, so what do I think about this fragrance? I think that the opening is pretty good. It's a blast of booze with some vanilla. You feel like you're kind of like in a jazz bar, right? Maybe that's the whole point, right? Being in a jazz bar. And then as it starts to dry down, it maintains some of that sweetness, but not overly sweet. And you get a little bit more of that tobacco. I forgot to mention that tobacco comes out a little bit. And it reminds me of, and it doesn't remind me of any other fragrance other than Second Soul, which I'm assuming is a flanker to Second Soul. Makes sense. But Second Soul is not as sweet, a little bit more aromatic, I would say. But if you guys want to get like an idea what kind of vibe it is, if you try like Roja, Enigma, Day 3, Amber, what's it called? Day 3, Amber, Dominicano, I think. Yeah. It's a, and those people, that's another group. A lot of people sim for them. I think they're a married couple. I think she's Dominican or something. I've met them at Sensible. They're very nice, right? I'm not saying anything bad, but people do simp for people that they like, right? So that's another brand you have to watch out for. But that's not, I think they're a legitimate fragrance. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that, people have biases, right? But Manhattan EDP from Roja, Jazz Club, those style fragrances, that's kind of what you're going to get here. Again, it doesn't smell like them. It just gives you that same vibe. Like you're at a jazz bar, nightclub, you're at a speakeasy. That's kind of what you get here. All right. And I would say that of all the fragrances I mentioned, this is the best one. If you're looking for a boozy tobacco fragrance, this is good. This is legitimately good. Like I wanted to hate this after I didn't get the $50,000 for my project. I wanted to hate this. I really wanted to hate this because it's limited amount. I blind bought it. If I didn't like it, I'm sure I can sell it and somebody would buy it. So it was low risk buying it. But I can't hate this. This is a good fragrance. Like my wife, who I would say my wife likes about 60% of my fragrance. No, sorry, she hates 60% of my fragrances. Maybe 40% she can tolerate. Maybe like 10% of my fragrances she actually likes. I had her smell this. And I said, what do you think about this? And I also had on my strip, Second Soul, the flanker. So which one do you like better? And she liked this one better. And I have to agree, this one is better than Second Soul. To me, I've tried about 10 Zaharoff fragrances. This by far is the best Zaharoff fragrance I've tried. Not even close. There's not even a close second. Maybe Second Soul is a close second. But other than that, this fragrance really is good. Really is good. Yeah, I don't like sweet fragrances. And I like this. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is the type of fragrance that I think, I'm definitely keeping this fragrance now. I mean, I think it's fantastic. Look at the juice. It kind of even looks like, I don't know, let me see. It kind of looks like, maybe like whiskey, right? Looks a little bit like whiskey. Yeah, this is a Chypre done in a more modern way. Yeah, it's a good fragrance. Listen, if I didn't like this fragrance, I would tell you I didn't like it, right? And the thing that's funny, I don't like this scent profile. I don't like boozy, sweet fragrances. I wore this and I liked it. And again, my wife doesn't like my fragrances. She likes this one. Now, to be fair, my wife does like a little cocktail every now and then. And I started laughing. I go, you like most of my fragrances, but you like this. I go, I know why, because it smells like a cocktail. She's like, oh yeah, it does smell like a cocktail, right? Maybe subconsciously, she was like, oh, it smells really good, right? But yeah, I mean, I would wear this at nighttime. I would wear this, going out. I mean, it's a good fragrance. George, you did good, right? I said I wasn't going to woo you, but I might woo you. Woo! This is George and Justin. All right, good fragrance. Yeah, I mean, I what can I say? I like it. Believe me, man. If I could rip into this, I would have ripped it because I haven't seen any of the reviews, but I'm sure everybody's giving this praise, right? I would have been, I would have stood out, right? I would have been, different. But you gotta you like what you like, man. I can't help it. So, in my opinion, do I like this fragrance? Yes, this is the best Zaharoff fragrance that I've smelled, and not just that. This so far, I mean, I haven't smelled a lot, but this is the best fragrance I've smelled in 2026. A new release, 2026. Maybe even 2025. I mean, this is probably the best new fragrance I've tried in the past 2 years. Now, again, my negative about this fragrance is I don't think this is a signature scent fragrance. Again, at least where I work, I can't go in smelling like booze and tobacco. Not good, right? So, yeah, I don't think it's an everyday fragrance. This is a fragrance that I would wear nighttime, going out to a nice dinner, dressed up. I did wear it to work the past 2 days, and probably a little inappropriate. I didn't go crazy. For those who care, the performance is really good on this one. I don't really. In fact, if a fragrance is too strong, I tend not to like it. So that would probably be a downside. It is a pretty strong fragrance, and it is a little sweet, and it is probably not appropriate for like a daily wear. But I might wear this a couple more times, and then in the fall, I'm going to be wearing this at night. I mean, it's a good fragrance, man. I can't listen. It is what it is. It's a good fucking fragrance, right? It's good. It is. It is what it is. Look. I'd be scrubbing it off if I didn't like it. It's really, really good. So good job, guys. Good job. Now, let me give George some business advice. So, George, I think this is the best fragrance I've smelled from your house. I haven't smelled the two new ones, the more expensive line that you have. I've not smelled the honey one. What else haven't I smelled? Halfeti Rose I've not smelled. But I've smelled a lot of your fragrances. This, to me, is the best fragrance that I've smelled with the name Zaharoff slapped on it. Okay. So my question is, so George, I'm gonna talk to you. You might want to consider putting this one permanently in your line. Now, my understanding is that the pleasure over business sold out as well. I think both of these sold out, and you really can't decide on putting something permanently in your line based on how it sold out before people smell it, right? Because you can introduce this back into your line, and people give it bad reviews, and it's sold out because of the hype, but in actuality, the fragrance sucks, right? So I would say, see what the reaction around the community is. Right now for Grantica, I think it's 4.5, if I'm not mistaken, with 19 votes. I'm gonna give it a love. With 19 votes, what's the math? It'll probably go up to 4.7, maybe, which is incredibly high. It's the highest I've seen any fragrance, right? Listen, Aventus Absolute was supposed to be a limited run. It did extremely well, got praised, and Creed put it out as part of the line, right? You might want to consider putting this one part of your line. Again, I'm not trying to make business decisions for you, but see how it does, see how it's critically appraised, see what the demand is, and yeah, you might want to do it. The other thing about this fragrance, like with this fragrance right here, Justin's last fragrance, when I smelled it, it didn't smell like a Zaharoff fragrance. And it's not a bad thing, it just didn't smell like a Zaharoff fragrance. When I smell this one, I don't know if it's because of the myrrh or whatever, it seems to fit with your brand. Like it's a mature fragrance. I think it's a good fragrance. I think you should add it on your line, right? So just think about it. It'd be a shame that people can't get to this